Hi, welcome to Enjoy Learning Computer Science with Python. In this session, we are going to discuss about bare bones of a Python program, variables and assignments, dynamic typing, static typing, and simple input-output statements. Come on, let's enjoy. Bare bones of a Python program. What do you mean by bare bone? It is nothing but the structure of a Python program or the elements of a Python program. Have a look at this simple program. Here I have given different colors for different elements of the Python program. So look at the yellow color statements. These statements begins with a hashtag. So these are known as comment lines. Okay, so comment lines begins with a hashtag, and these comment lines will not get executed at all. These are all additional information for the programmer about what is the program about, or what is the title of the program, like that. Okay, so comment lines will not get executed. These are informations only for the programmer. Okay, so a command line can be single line command line or multi-line, or even you can have inline command lines. Inline means a command line which starts in between the line, in between a statement. You can see here colon means it's a block. So this command line starts in between. So this is known as inline commands. Okay, so the next one is in blue color. That is known as function definition. Functions. Okay, now you can see the function begins with the keyword def and ends with the function header ends with a colon. That means these statements will executed as a block, as a set of statements. Okay, so this is known as functions, or function starts with a keyword def. Okay, so this is also another element of Python program. And the next one is in red color. These are all statements. A is equal to 25, B is equal to A minus 15. These statements will execute it separately. It does not depends on other statements, or it does not execute it as a block. One by one it will get executed. So these are all statements of a Python program. Then comes blocks or stoots. I have represented in green color. Okay, if B greater than 5, colon a statement, else another statement. So colon represents all these statements will get executed as a single unit or a block. Okay, so that's what it is known as blocks or suit. Blocks or suit. The next one is the function call. Wherever you are defining a function, the function will not get executed. So to execute the function, you have to call the function. So that is known as function call. Okay, so what are the elements of a Python program? You have functions, comments, statements, blocks or suit, and function call. So what is a function? A function is nothing but a named code sections. So it is a set of statements. A name will be given for that set of statements, and whenever you want to use these functions, you can call the functions. That means these set of statements can be used again and again any number of times. It is not necessary to write the statements again and again. You can reuse the codings which is written inside a function. That is the use of a function. So it is named code sections and can be reused. Then what is comment? I told you it is additional readable information. It is about for the programmer. Okay, the next one is statements. Statements are nothing but instructions, programming instructions. Then blocks or suits, it is group of statements, or these statements will get executed as a unit, as a set. That is known as blocks or suit. And the final one is function call. Function call means when you define a function, the function will not get executed. Only when you call the function, these statements will get executed. So that is known as function call. Variables. Variables are nothing but named storage location. So in memory, there are so many places in memory where we can store a value. Suppose there is a value called 10. I'm putting it in the memory. I'm storing it. Okay. So this 10, the value 10 will be stored in the memory, and wherever it is stored, a name will be there for that storage location, that memory location. Okay, suppose you are residing in a house, you have an address for your house. Similarly, wherever this value is stored, an address will be there for that value. So that is known as variable, named storage location. And the values can be used whenever you execute the program. Let's try to create two variables, student and age, where the variable student should hold the name of the student and the variable age should hold the age of a student. Okay, so how to do this? Student is equal to, within double quotes, you give the name of the student. Here I have given it as Joe, and age is equal to 12. So 12 is a numeric data type, integer data type, and Joe is string. That is, name should be given within quotes because it is of string data type. Okay, so when we execute these two statements, what happens? The variable student will point to the memory address where the value Joe is stored. Similarly, the variable age will point to the memory address where the value 12 is stored. So this is how you have to assign variables. What is dynamic typing? A variable pointing to a value of a certain type can be made to point a value of different type. Very simple. First, you are assigning a variable pointing to a data type of integer. Then you can make the same variable point to another data type of string. So that is known as dynamic typing. Okay. Example for dynamic typing. A is equal to 10, print A is equal to Python, print A. So when the first statement is executed, the variable A will point to the value where 10 is stored. And what is the data type of 10? It is integer. When the second statement is executed, it will print the value of A, which is 10. And when the third statement is executed, A is equal to Python. So now A was pointing to the value 10. So when the third statement is executed, the variable A will point to the value where Python is stored, which is of string data type. Okay. Now when the fourth statement is executed, print A, the value of A will be Python, not 10. Okay. So first, the variable A was pointing to integer data type. Then it was made to point to another data type, which is a string. So this is known as dynamic typing. What is static typing? Data type of a variable cannot be changed at all. Once you assign a value to a variable which is of a particular data type, after that it cannot be changed. The value cannot be changed at all. So that is known as static typing. Data type of a variable cannot be changed once it is executed. Python supports dynamic typing or static typing. Obviously, it supports dynamic typing because once you assign a variable with a value of a particular data type, you can assign the same variable with a value of another data type. Hence, Python supports dynamic typing. Multiple assignments. You know, Python is a versatile language. What is versatile? It has many different functions. Okay, so multiple assignments means you can assign same value to different variables, and also you can assign different values to different variable easily. So let's first see assigning same value to multiple variables. Look at the example. You can do it in a very simple way in a single statement itself. So if you have three variables and you want to assign same value to those three variables, you just do like this. X is equal to, Y is equal to, Z is equal to 50. right? So that means x will be assigned the value 50, y will be also assigned to the same value 50, z also will be assigned to the same value 50. So this is assigning same value to multiple variables easily. You can even assign multiple values to multiple variables in a single statement itself. So look at this example. X, y, z is equal to 50, 70, 90. So this will assign the values order wise. That means x is in the first position. 50 is in the first position in the value side, okay, in the right hand side. So the first variable will be assigned to the first value, second variable will be assigned to the second value, and the third variable will be assigned to the third value, and so on. So x will be assigned to 50, y will be assigned to 70, and z will be assigned to 90. So this is assigning multiple values to multiple variables in a single line. Input statement. To get input from the user interactively, we can use the built-in function input statement. Okay, input function can be used to get input from the user interactively. So what is the syntax? So first, the name of the variable is equal to input, and within parenthesis the message has to be displayed, can be given. Okay, look at this example. Name is equal to, what is name? It is the name of the variable. Input, within parenthesis and within double quotes you can give the message, that is enter your name. So when this statement will get executed, the user will be prompted with the message enter your name. So when the user sees the message, the user will type the name. Okay, so this is how you have to get input from the user using built-in function. And one more thing, when you use input statement, it will return a value of string data type only. Whatever you are receiving using input statement will be considered as string data type only. Input statement will return a value of string data type. Suppose you want the input statement to return a value of int data type or float data type, then you have to use the function int or float along with the input statement. Let me demonstrate this with an example. Look at the first example. Age is equal to input enter your age. I didn't use int function or float function here. So when this statement is executed, the user will be prompted with the message enter your age. So I have entered as 15. Now let's see what is the data type of this variable age, which is holding the value 15. So to see the data type, you have to use the function type. Okay, type, within parenthesis specify the name of the variable. That variable's data type will be displayed. So type, the name of the variable is age. So when this statement is executed, it is returning string data type. So the data type of the variable age is str. So now let me try to add a value along with this variable. So I am giving age plus 10. And when I execute, what happens? Python raises an error because age is a variable of string data type and I am trying to add 10, an integer along with string. That is not possible, hence Python raises an error. So what has to be done? You have to convert this string data type into integer data type. So I am going to include int function along with the input statement. So age is equal to int of input of enter your age. So you are prompted with the message enter your age. The age is entered as 16. Now let's check the data type of this age. Type age, it is int. Okay, now it is int because the string is converted into integer data type using the function int. Now let's check the let's try to add a value along with this variable. So age plus 10, yeah, it is possible to add. Age is 16, 16 plus 10 is 26. Okay, so a string data type is converted into integer data type using int function for input statement. Suppose you want the input statement to return a float data type, then you have to use float function. Mark is equal to float of input of enter your mark. Then that will return a float data type. Output statement. So print statement is used to display the output. Okay, so which is the output statement? It is the print statement. So how to use this print statement? Look at the example. Print enjoy learning computer science is the message that should be given within quotes, and that has to be given within parentheses also. So the message should be given within parentheses. Print within double quotes enjoy learning computer science, and when this statement is executed, whatever you have given within double quotes will be displayed as it is. Have a look at this simple Python program. This program is to calculate the cube of a number. So before writing any program, you should know what is the input, what is the processing, and what should be the output. Okay, so to calculate the cube of a number, what should be the input? You need a number, right? So number should be the input, so that you have to receive it from the user using input statement and assign it to a variable. Then the processing. So if the number is n, you have to calculate the cube of the number. That is your processing, right? How will you calculate? The number into number into number, n into n, and assign it to a variable. After that, then the output. What should be your output? The cube. Okay, the answer is your output. Okay. Now see the first statement, n is equal to input statement we are using. So input statement returns a string data type. So here I want a number. So the string has to be converted into integer. So we have to use int function. Okay. So n is equal to int of input of enter a number. Right. So the number whichever is typed by the user will be stored in the variable n. In the second line, cube is equal to n into n into n. So we are calculating the cube value of n and storing it in the variable called cube. The last statement is the output statement, which is print statement. So inside print you can see I have given something within quotes and other not within quotes. So you should understand this. The cube of is given within double quotes. Anything given within double quotes will be printed as it is. Then comma. In print statement, comma is a separator. So whenever a comma is given in print statement, a space will be left. Okay. So the cube of comma n comma is comma cube. So look at the output. When we execute this program, it will ask the user enter a number. A number is entered. Look at the output now. So the cube of is printed within double quotes. It will be printed as it is. Then there is a comma. So a space will be left. Then n. Here n is not given within double quotes. That means n is a variable. The value of n will be printed when it is not specified within quotes. Okay. So the value of n is 5. Then there is a comma, so a space. Then is within double quotes will be printed as it is. Again there is a comma, a space. Then cube. Okay, value of cube will be printed because cube is not given within double quotes. So the value of the variable cube will be printed. Hope you have understood the concept. Hope you have understood the concepts clearly. For any queries, you're always welcome to comment. For further updates, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Enjoy learning computer science. Thank you. Bye-bye.